Right, these detail some changes to the original video. It's very important you watch this video all the way through. It's quite short and it details the changes that have been made since the first video was made. They're quite minor changes, but they do help with the build. So we'll start off with the tie-down chain. On the original, I'll just hold it, it came with a screw which you had to undo, and then where do we go? You have to push the screw through the end of the chain. I won't do it because it's there we go. There we go, and you have to push it through the chain and then redo the screw up using a 1.5mm Allen key. I've since changed that design, and what we now have is a similar piece, except it's got one hole in it, and you'll also have a small pin with a nut shape on the end. That will go through the chain quite easily, as I've done there, and then that will go into the hole, and then on the back you can just see it protruding, just a small drop of super glue, and that'll hold that in position, and that will give you a much better and easier way of fixing the chain at that end. So that deals with the changes to the plastic parts. What follows next are the changes which are only applicable if you're building the 45mm version. Due to the extra width, I've had to make some extra pieces, but you still need to watch it even if you're building the 32mm version, as some of the parts are labelled differently. It's all very straightforward though. Right, this is a little bit more extra information when it comes to build the wagon. Since the first video was made, I've developed a 45mm version as well, and the parts are put in with the 32mm kit, so you can choose which one you're going to build, but obviously I would have put the correct wheels in. So when you come to build the actual bottom chassis part, you'll come across parts which are shown here, of which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 32 written on them, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 45 written on them. So if you're going to build the 32mm kit, then obviously use the 32. If you're going to build the 45, use the 45 parts. I hope that makes sense. So what we'll now do is I'll now show you when you come to build the 45mm kit, there are a few little changes that you'll need to do which are not itemized in the main video. So I'll go ahead now and show you those. Right, if you're building the 45mm kit with the metal wheels, you'll have to add some washers which are supplied in the kit onto the wheels themselves. So if it's a metal wheels, you put one washer on the axle I've done there and load them in. Then you add another washer on that side. And then when you assemble, you'll find you've got just a little bit of play in the axle side to side, and obviously will rotate nicely. So don't forget to add the one washer each side, and then when it's firmly held down, put it onto a flat surface and push down on the chassis, you should find there's a little bit of side play on the axle and it should rotate nicely. If it's a bit tight, then only fit one washer on one side. However, if you're fitting the nylon Binny wheels, we have to add a few more washers, which I will now show you. Obviously this at the moment is only for the 45. So if you're fitting the nylon wheels on 45, it's 2 washers. So that's 1, 2 washers. Oh dear, I'm throwing them around. So it's 2 washers on the end first of all. Then load the wheel in. And then we add another 2 washers to the outside. So then we add 2 washers there. And again, we do exactly the same as we did with the metal wheels. If you push it down onto a flat surface, push the chassis down, gently squeeze, and you'll find there's a little bit of play backwards and forwards, and they should rotate nicely in the ball race. Again, if it's a little bit tight, then just remove 1 washer and that will free it up. Unfortunately, I've had to do this because there's a difference in the actual wheel width itself. On the metal wheels, they've got a boss that sticks out, and on the nylon mini wheels, they don't. So that covers that side of it.